The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello everyone. Hello. Good evening everyone. We'll just wait for a minute or two so that all the attendees can join us, just in case if people have not been able to be on time. So please bear with us. Please be with us. I'm really sorry for the delay, but we're just waiting for the few attendees to join in. Okay, so let's just start the webinar. Welcome to the webinar for basic setup of OpenERP. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Sophia and I'm representing Tech Receptors. To start with the introduction of Tech Receptors. Tech Receptors Solution Private Limited was established in the year 2009, and since then we have been working on OpenERP technologies. We have excelled ourselves in the OpenERP customization, migrations, and integration services. You can just view the work over here. If you can view our screen over here, this is the contribution that we've done in the field of open source in OpenERP itself. It's TR-CRM, OpenEducate. This is again a new revolution in the field of education industry, as no one so far has even tried to do anything in this industry. So this is one of the success stories that we would definitely share later on. The barcode module, OpenERP PrestaShop synchronization. So this is just a glimpse about the work that we've done so far. Now let's just start basically, with the webinar, which starts right from the installation. Now over here we are going with the installation for Windows. Now in order to install the OpenERP, there are a few ways wherein you can get the OpenERP installer. First is nightly. You can see the screen. It's nightly.openerp.com, and of course you can definitely get from OpenERP website, that is www.openerp.com. Here you have the different domains. You can go for Windows, register, with us. It would ask for the details, and then once you fill in all the details, you can download the OpenERP installer for Windows. So the first option that I said is much more easier, I feel. It's nightly.openerp.com, 7.0 stable, nightly, exe. Go for the last option, that is OpenERP all-in-one setup 7.0 latest.exe. Now just in order to speed up the process, I've already downloaded this so that it doesn't use up more time. I'll just move on with the installation. Here it is, OpenERP. Let's just start with the installation. Yes. English. Next. I agree. Here we are selecting both because we do need that. Now this is one of the important things. The host name is localhost, of course. Port, by default the port remains 5432. Now the username and password that is being shown over here is the PostgreSQL username. You need to note it down, you need to remember it, or you can either change it for your convenience. Now this is because it could be useful later on when you need to, maybe start the server with the PostgreSQL username and the password. So I am not here changing because I remember it. I'm just clicking on next. Now this is where it's being saved. Install. Okay. This would take a bit of time because it's loading all the files. Okay, till the time it's been loaded, I would say that the installer, it would give you the server, but we also need the add-ons, the modules. You can get the modules from launchpad.net. So again, I have already downloaded it over here, and here it is. This is the add-ons. As of now, yep, we have 105 items in this. These are the modules or the applications that we say, and we would copy all these modules later on when we are done with the installation process. You can see the files that have been loaded. Okay, it's installing. Yeah, I'll just copy on the add-ons. You can have a look at the number of add-ons plus the applications that it provides. Let's see how far. Right, so it's moving on. It's just about a minute or two. Okay, if you have any queries, you can post it at any point of time. And if you have any query till now, you can post it. Right, so it's done now. Next. Yep, start. Okay, so here, now this is the interface wherein you can create a new database. But as I said earlier, that I don't have any add-ons within this. So I could do one thing. Okay, so I'll just add those add-ons first, and then maybe we could go on. Okay, as you can see, the Postgres is installed, the server is installed, server, OpenERP, add-ons, and here I'll paste the add-ons that I had copied. You can see that as of now there are only 19 items over here. The basic modules that are provided over here is the base module to add the partners. Then these are all the modules that are related to web. Now I'll just add the remaining modules. Okay. Okay. So now you can see the total number of items over here is 121. So all the add-ons are now copied in the directory. I'll just create a new database. Now this is an option wherein load demonstration data. If you check this, it would load all the demo data with it. If you do not, then it would load the modules without demo data. Now as it is the first time that we are moving on, I would prefer going with demo data because we would get a few records to play with. The default language that I'm selecting is English. You have these many list of languages, but the only language that I know as of now is English, so I select English. This is the master admin password. Now here we are creating a new database. By the time the database has been created, let's just learn something new about OpenERP in a bit of detail. Going to the folder where the OpenERP is installed, is saved, and now this is a config file. Okay, now this is the OpenERP config file. It gives you almost all the details just in case if, as I said earlier, in order to remember the password of the Postgres SQL, in case if you've already forgotten it, here is the place wherein you can find that. This is the port. Okay, it gives you the details of the host. You can start with the debug mode if you want. Okay, now this is the file where the logs are being saved. It's OpenERP server.log. This is the PostgreSQL path. This is the path of the add-ons, the place from where it fetches the add-ons, the modules that we just copied back in the folder. So this was all about the config file. Now you can see that the database is now loaded. This is the interface. Now let me just start with the interface. As you can see, this is the company data. It's still loading. Okay. Now you can by default see only the featured applications. I would just install one of the modules just to show the menus, or just to show how the applications are loaded and how can we later on view the menus regarding each application. Okay, now apps applications is the place. It actually fetches the modules directly from the OpenERP apps. It's still loading. Let's just now this list shows, as of now you can see the modules that are already installed. If I remove this filter, you can see the total number of modules within the system. But yes, the module that I copied into the server has not yet been loaded. So in order to do that, I'll have to stop the server and again start the server. Okay. Now there are different ways to stop the service as well. I'll just choose the shortcut. Choose look for OpenERP. You can see stop the service, restart the service. I'll directly restart the service right now. Okay. Okay. Okay, one of the reasons why I cannot see the settings is because okay, you can see because the user had no rights to view these menus, that was the reason why these applications were hidden for administrator. You can see now this is the top toolbar. On the left hand side you can see the applications that are loaded. Now on clicking on those applications you can see the menu. Okay, now I'm updating the module list because it has all the modules have not been loaded into the system so far in the OpenERP instance. So in order to get all the full list, I've updated the module list. I'll just have a look at the services again. Okay, so now you can see the number of services that are running. I also have I'll recheck with the add-ons again. OpenERP. Stop the services. This was the another method that I was talking about previously. You can start and stop the services from here too. Again, updating the module list. Seems like something is messed up with my system. Addons. Yep, the list seems okay. Okay, so that was the problem. Those modules didn't have proper access. But it's good that, it happened here. So seems like things would be okay by now. Okay. So now let's just get back. So I'm again going back to the menu. Still it's the same. Okay, by the time I look into that issue, we'll just start with the interface. The top toolbar, the left hand side is the application menu. You can see whichever application we loaded would have its menu items. So sales, settings, these are a kind of environment, I could say. Where's the right hand side? It shows the user related details. Now the yellow color symbol, it's because the time zone is mismatching. The time zone that appears over here in the OpenERP instance is different from my local system. So in case you wish to change any details about the user, you can change it from here. I'll just change the time zone so that it vanishes away. So language is English. This is the email ID. Here, the signature. Save. Okay, so now you can see that the time zone symbol, the time zone mismatch symbol has vanished. Now about this. Now just below the navigation toolbar you can see this edit company data. From here we can change the company details. I would like to change and switch it over to mine. Private Limited. I would just change the address. City. Now you can see that there is no record for this particular state. I can directly create from here. I'll just insert the code, country, here it is, save. India. You can enter the company tagline if you wish, or change the website, techreceptives.com, info@techreceptives.com. Now this is the bank details. The bank, you can add a bank account, but then this would basically be used when we are using accounting applications. As of now I don't need that, so I won't go and add that. This is the report footer. I would like to make a custom footer, tech receptors. Limited. So, and yes, you can change the logo as well. I'll save this. Again, add company data. I'll change the logo. Tech logo. Right, so I've changed the company logo. Here it is. So this is the way that we can change the logo, well, and the company details. Now just below the company details you can see the menu items. Now it happens when you switch between the environments. You can see that the menu items also change. So let's just have a look at the detailing. Like here I have customers. At the right hand side there are three tiny buttons. One is for Kanban view, another is list view, and the third one displays the form view. When I click on the menu item, it displays the default view. Over here the default view is the Kanban view. Now this is the Kanban view, and the page that you can view over here. Now this it indicates the records that we have for the particular filter that we're choosing. We'll go back to the filter later on. Let's just have a look at the views that we have. Now this is the Kanban view, as I said later. Now if I want to switch within the views, I just need to click on the tiny buttons. See? So this is the list view. It's basically, you can say, a table form. It shows all the records that belong to the category of customers. Now if I click on form view, you can see that it takes the very first record. I can only view one record at a time in a form view, but yes, I can switch over the records. So it gives a detailed information about the records. Now this is one of the interesting things that I would like to tell you, that you can see I was in the customers view, and from customers I went to one of the customer. So if I want to go back, I can either click on this back button, or I can directly click on customers, and here I'm back to the list view. Now here it displays the list view because it was from the list view that I went to the form view, and hence it displays the list view over here. Let's just click on Integrate. Here is the list view. So this is one of the tables, the basic tables in OpenERP, and the address book over here. Now one of the interesting thing over here is one of the very powerful tool that OpenERP has is the filter. you can see that here only those records are displayed, only those partners are displayed who are customers. Now if I delete this filter, you can see almost all the records belonging to the tables. As of now, I have 63 records. Now if I just add the filter on customers, you can see it directly gets back to 53, which means that there are 10 records who are not customers. Now there are a lot many facilities available in this apart from filters. Say like you can search. As we just saw earlier, you can I'm searching on the basis of one of the customers, Agrolate. Search the name. See, so here you can see that this was the Agrolate customer, and these are the two addresses related to this partner Agrolates, and hence you were able to view all the three records. So this is like, it's not just a filter, but it's also a search functionality based on the name Agrolate. Similarly, you can remove this customer and you can search supplier. So you can get the number of suppliers, this table. Right. So this was all about the view. Now this drop down box, it gives you each and every application that you install would have default predefined filters with that. Now just in case if you want to play with the search, I'm just going to the apps, applications, and it currently shows only those applications that are featured. Say like if I want to search for address book, yep, here it displays one featured application with the name address book. So this was all about the views that we have, and let's get back to the user. This is a user. Just trying to edit that. Now there's only one language that is loaded so far. Just in case if we would like to have a look at any other languages, here is where you can see settings, translations, load a translation. You can look at the options that's available, very vast. Okay, I'll just select Spanish, I'll load. So the selected languages has been successfully installed. Now again go back to user, edit. You can see if I select this language, save, you can see that the string in the menu item has been changed now to Spanish. Now just because I don't understand the Spanish, it was just to show how it changes. It's basically for the convenience of the users. Not all users may know English, so they can load the language and use it. So it's basically user-friendly interface. Right. Right. So we can now, the major important thing is creating users. As of now, you can see that there are two users in the system: administrator and demo user. Administrator is the master user, just as we have a root user in our Linux system, and it's always a good practice to keep administrator as the master user and create different users for different roles, so that in case if any of the user messes up any application or messes up with any kind of records, administrator definitely has the rights to get back and to restore those things. I'll just create a new user. Yeah. You can see the default company that has been assigned is Tech Receptive Solutions Private Limited. The time zone has been set now. Default language is again English. You can set the email ID, signature. You can define the access rights, sales, whether user or manager, human resource employees, administration, access rights, and settings. Now the difference between this is if you choose settings, you can see menu settings over here. Now more than 90% of the access controls is within this settings menu. So if a user has the settings, that user can definitely change a lot many things. So basically in almost all the companies, only administrator, as I referred earlier, is the master user, and the master user would only be allowed to view the settings menu. Rest all users would have the access rights. As of now, I'll just keep settings, and these are other features. Now one thing that is really admirable is as and when you load any application, you can see the items being included over here. Just as you have sales, human resources, the more modules or the more applications you load, the more menus you can see over here, the more detailing would be displayed over here. So this is how we create a user. You can then again deactivate the user as well. So this is how a user is being created as of now. Yep, I don't want to save this. Okay, so settings. Now with the users, you can also define groups. Now the reason why we have the fundamental of group is to restrict the view of a particular user or of a particular group. Say for example, if in a company you have 10 sales user, the sales user, it would be very difficult for from the technical point of view to assign the access rights to each and every user. Right, so this is the reason why we create groups. We assign group to all those 10 users, that is all those 10 sales user would be assigned under one group, and then this group would be given some access rights. Say like only those records, only those tables should be viewed to the group, to the users belonging to the sales group that are useful in the context of sales. You have these two groups over here. Just add it. This is the sales manager. You can add the users. You can add all the sales user. menus that needs to be visible. You can have access rights, say like add an object, bank. Now sales user need not actually add a bank account details, so I would not give the create and write. You can have the read access though, but you can definitely not have the delete, create and write access. Save. And then you can definitely add rules and the nodes of any belonging to these users. Okay, so this was about the users and the groups. Okay, just as you can change the user specific details from the menu settings, users and users, you can directly do it from here as well. You can change the password. If you have a really tricky password, you can definitely change it from here. You can change all your ugly passwords from here. Now we've seen how to create a database. Now we'll see how can we restore a database and how can we take a backup of a database. Just log out. Manage database. I would like to take a backup of this database. I'll enter the password, click on backup. Okay, so you can see that db webinar _1. So this is a dump file that has been created. Now we can restore the backup. Let's just try and restore. Let's just go to downloads, db webinar. I'll select master admin, and this is the new database name. Say like db webinar backup. Restore. So you can see that the database has been restored. Now you can see the backup database. So how you can restore and move on. Okay. You can definitely let me know if you have any queries, any questions. So this was all about the basic setup in Windows and how to create a database, how to know more about the user interface. I would like to introduce you to my colleague Parthiv Patel. He would move on with the presentation. Parthiv?
Thanks, Sophia.
You're welcome.
Can you stop your screen sharing? Let me just. Hi everyone, myself Parthiv. I'm CEO of Tech Receptives, and I'll be going through the issue that Sophia just faced of not having these modules into the installation or not having all the modules into the installation. So Just a moment, let me start sharing my screen. Sophia, can you just hand me over the screen sharing?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay, so everyone can see my screen and hear me?
Yep.
Great. Okay, so as you can see, I have downloaded some source files and OpenERP installation files. So I'm just going to install it. As an admin. So this is all the details, PostgreSQL related details and everything, which I'm not modifying. I'm just installing. It's today's build or yesterday's build, I think. Yes, it's 24th of July build. So you can know from installation directory itself, okay, when was this installation package has been made from the date itself. Just installing. Apart from this, for the add-ons, as Sophia mentioned, we can get it from Launchpad or we can get it from this SRC or source repository that's below the exe repository. So we can just go to SRC and download the latest source. This is basically a complete bundled source directory, so that we can get. I've just downloaded that one, so I'm just going to extract it right away till the installation finishes. So OpenERP, basically it would be better if you install it on a Linux or a Unix platform, especially on Ubuntu. As for production, it's always recommended that you always install it on a non-Windows platform, as to update or upgrade certain libraries it would be really easy. It will be really handy when you have to do certain upgrades of libraries and other things. So I would recommend personally to install it on non-Windows platform or go for any Linux flavors of your choice. Any questions so far? Just a couple of more minutes. Okay, so all the add-ons has been extracted. OpenERP add-ons. So 211 add-ons, and this is the kind of a source of entire OpenERP, but for Windows that's different. Once Windows is installed, let's wait for it. For OpenERP, I'd say, not Windows. Someone just asked me, is it difficult to uninstall OpenERP? I would say not that, but after uninstalling it, and then you have to again if you want to install it again, it's really bit difficult, because then it leaves certain, I would say, uninstalled tracks. So that really creates some pain when you want to install it again from Windows, when you have already installed it in Windows and then you want to uninstall. So when you want to uninstall, just uninstall it. Then you have to manually remove certain registry entries, especially of Postgres. If you are not using Postgres for other application purpose, make sure you uninstall Postgres properly, else there will be some really difficulties, really bad ones. Okay, so OpenERP has been installed. Okay, it's there in this directory. Okay, server, ERP, add-ons. So there is no add-ons. Let me just bring in. Just moving some. Okay, so all the add-ons are now in OpenERP's instance. So now I'm just going to restart it. To stop it first, and then again going to start the instance. Okay, my instance has been restarted now. I'm just going to create test one with some demo data. So as you can see, there are number of ways to start and stop OpenERP services from your same machine or from different services, service interfaces and everything. So here I am with this installed list, and here I have all the local modules list. So all these modules are in my local. I can install any module at any time, right? I'm just installing this CRM. Clicked on it. So it's basically like how you load the modules first time and where you get the source from. It's always the best way or best practice to get it. So OpenERP Windows instance doesn't come with all the module sources, but you can get it from this source directory and just use the existing modules directory, or like take out add-ons from the source and use it over there. So it's still installing the module. So it has installed CRM, the basic CRM again. You can go to user and give some additional access rights, the company, technical features and everything. And here we have a bunch of next set of modules that is ready to install. Any questions so far from anyone? Okay, there seems to be no questions. Great. Okay, everyone, thanks for joining in. That's it for today for this first session. We'll be hoping to see you in the next series and next session that would be on CRM. And you can keep your questions ready. If you have any queries, you can also ask during the session. We'll be happy to answer it. Thanks everyone for joining in. Have a nice day. Have a great evening. Thanks. Bye-bye. Thank you.